Hello students, I am Dr. Vijay Kumar Singhal, Associate Professor, Department of Mathematics, Swami Keshwanand Institute of Technology, Management and Gramuthan. Now, topic of today's discussion is correlation. Today we are to discuss with this topic. So, to start with the topic, we start with the concept of correlation. If two variables are related to each other, we call them correlated. Okay, in an experiment, the outcome is in terms of two random variables x and y. We discussed it earlier also that in a bivariate distribution we get the outcomes as a random variable x and y. For example, height and weight of a certain group of persons, income and expenditure of a person's financial calculations, price and demand of certain commodity, etc. There are so many examples available to understand the experiment having two random variables x and y. Now, these two variables x and y, there is a relation between them. We are interested to find out whether these two random variables are related or not, and if they are related, then we'll try to determine the relationship, nature of relationship, which type of relationship is there, a linear relationship or it may be a non-linear relationship. Also, we need to find the intensity of the relationship between these two variables. Okay. Now, if they are related, these are just called correlated. Now, in this we can just define this relation in this manner. Let if the increase in one result in corresponding increase in the other. Just read it carefully. If the increase in one variable results in a corresponding increase in other, the same thing is decrease also. Okay, if one decrease, then other one is also decrease. Then this type of correlation is called direct or positive correlation. For example, height and weight, income and expenditure. You can easily understand that if the height increases, then weight also increases. Also, if the income increases, then expenditure is also increases. Whereas if the increase in one result in a corresponding decrease in the other, means if one variable increases while the another variable decreases, then this type of correlation is said to be negative. The examples are price and demand of certain commodity. Obviously, everybody knows that if price increases, then demand decreases. Similarly, volume and pressure of a perfect gas. These are certain examples to understand the concept of relation between the variables. Okay. Now, the correlation is said to be perfect if the deviation in one variable is followed by the corresponding proportional deviation in the other. It's a perfect correlation. So, you can understand the perfection or some other relations by these scattered diagram, or we can say them dot diagram. In these diagrams, we simply represent our bivariate distribution x I y I, means the values of random variable x and y. We plot these in xy plane. For corresponding to each point, each ordered pair, we use the dot. These dots are simply corresponding to each ordered pair. So, you can easily understand we are having four type of scatter diagram. The first one, in the first diagram, the dots are very scattered. So, you can directly say there is no correlation, whereas in the second one, the summary dots are near to each other, but the summary moves to a curve. A curve linear structure is there, so we call it non-linear correlation. In the third example, you can find it is a perfect straight line moving upward direction. So we call it perfect positive correlation. And the second one, it is not a perfect because there are so many dots available, but as a summary they are moving in a negative direction, so it's a negative correlation. You can't call it the perfect. So now to calculate the intensity or degree of linear relationship between two variables, Karl Pearson developed a formula, we call it correlation coefficient. The correlation coefficient is denoted by R. Students, please learn this statement. The Rxy is the correlation coefficient, and it is the correlation coefficient given by covariance of xy upon sigma x sigma y, where sigma x is the standard deviation of x, sigma y is the standard deviation of y, and this one COV is the covariance of variable x and y. Now, what are the values of these covariance and sigma x sigma y? So, just recall your concept. The covariance of x and y can be written as expected value of x minus x bar and y minus y bar. Okay, if you expand this product and apply the expected value, the final result will give expected value of x y minus x bar y bar. And in terms of statistical values, these expected values are given by summation. First one is summation x y upon n, second one is mean of x, and that's last one is mean of y. So this one is equation number 2. Now to get the standard deviation, we already discussed that standard deviation is the positive square root of the variance. So we first calculate the variance of x, sigma x square, which is expected value of x minus x bar square. On expansion, it gives expected value of x square minus of x bar square, and in statistical data, this one is summation x square by n minus summation x upon n ka whole square. Okay, so in the similar process, we get the variance of y. These two are equation 3 and equation 4. These equation 3 and equation 4 are the variance, and if you take the positive square root of these two, the resultant is standard deviation. Okay, now we move to the next slide. There are certain basic theorems applied on the correlation. The first theorem states that the correlation coefficient has certain limitations, that its value, the correlation coefficient R, must be between -1 to 1. -1 says the perfect negative, +1 says perfect positive, and the values of correlation coefficient must be between -1 to 1. And this is the derivation of this property. You can easily obtain the calculations. The next theorem, which is very important in the calculation of correlation coefficient from the given set of bivariate distribution, that the correlation coefficient is independent of change of origin and scale, because in the given numerical problems we may be given very large number of values. So for the large values we convert them in a smaller one by using this theorem. Change of origin and scale, the correlation coefficient is independent of. So we first assume u, which is a change in scale of x by a and scale by h and the origin by a. So you assume u equals to x minus a upon h, v equals to y minus b upon k. So what we need to prove? We need to prove that the correlation coefficient of this u and v is the same as the correlation coefficient of x y. Clear? Now to deduce the result, we first simplify the above assumption by x equals to a plus uh and y equals to b plus vk. Clear? Now what is the expected value of x? It is expected value of a plus uh, which is simply a plus h into expected value of same expected value of y. And if you put these values in x minus ex, you get this relation, and y minus ey this relation. Hence the covariance is obtained by h into k, covariance of u. It is equation number 1. And also the variance of x, this one sigma x square, it is x minus ex whole square, means it is h square sigma u square. Okay, it is equation number 2. Similarly, sigma y square equals to k square sigma v square. If you put all these values in the correlation coefficient of xy, you will get covariance of uv upon sigma u sigma, which is correlation coefficient of uv. It is a proof. On to the next slide, let us take some examples. The first example directly demands the correlation coefficient of the following data. One data x is for the height. These are the heights of father and their son. We need to get the correlation coefficient between them. So we start with the formula of correlation coefficient. It is the formula as we discussed earlier, covariance of xy upon sigma x sigma y. There is no need to learn this formula directly. You can apply the concept as we discussed in the last slide. Calculate covariance and sigma x sigma y separately and put it in the formula. So according to the demand of the calculation, we calculate x square, y square, x into y, and these the last one are the summations of x square, summation y square, etc. And now calculate mean, which is x bar, y bar, sigma x, then sigma y. The covariance is calculated, and r is equals to 0.6032. Now this question is solved by taking the values of x and y as it is, but you can apply the theorem as we discussed earlier by changing the scale and origin. Now students, one important statement is there कि change of scale we apply only when this difference has the same ratio, has the same divisor, this one. If you can divide all these x minus a by some common number, only in that case change the scale, otherwise just change the origin and calculate. So we take x equals to 68, this one, and same y for we take 69, this value. So u and v are obtained by this relation, and same u square, v square, u into v, and calculate the correlation coefficient of u and v. So you will get the same result. Okay. Now for the same question you discuss these two varieties, one directly and the second one by changing origin and scale. You can get the result same. One more example is there. Calculate the correlation coefficient between x and y using the following data. The same concept. Now here we are applying change of origin and scale. So we are changing the origin by, for x we are taking 5 and y for 12. So by that process we get u, v, u square, v square, u, v. Put all the values and get correlation coefficient r. Now there are certain properties applied for the values of correlation coefficient, that if r equals to 1, we discussed it earlier, it is a perfect positive, and if for r equals to minus 1, it is perfect negative, and for r is between 0.75 to 1, it is high correlation, and for 0.25 to 0.75, it is moderate. For 0 to 0.25, we call it low degree of correlation. Okay. Now the another topic in this correlation coefficient is rank correlation, because sometimes we have to deal with the situations where we want to calculate qualitative assessment instead of quantitatively assessments. Means if we are dealing with the appearance like beautiful, ugly, or the efficiency, excellent, good, average, etc. In these cases we get the correlation coefficient between the ranks instead of their particular values. So the data in these situations, data is ranked according to the particular character. So in that case the correlation coefficient we obtain uses this formula, rho equals to 1 minus 6 into summation of di square, and it is n into n square minus 1, where this d is the deviation between the ranks. Now since this deviation, this last one line states that if you take simple summation of di, it must be 0, but since it is 0, so we are taking it is di square. Okay. So, it is the formula where n is the total number of terms available. Now, in the case of ranks, there are the chances that we get two or more ranks repeating itself, or you can say two or more person having the same rank or the same value. So, for example, if two persons having the same rank and it is equal to 6th place, we have to assume 6th and 7th rank if they were ranked slightly different. But since both are same, you can't allot them 6th and 7th. So, we allot them the average of these two, 6 and 7. So, the result is 6.5. So, we allot both the person the rank 6.5 and 6.5, and the next person will starts with 8th rank. Same if 3 individuals are having same rank and taking the values 4th place, 5th place and 6th place if they were slightly different, but since these 3 are same, so you can't call them 4, 5, 6. So, that we allot them common rank 4 plus 5 plus 6 upon 3, which is 5, and the next person will be allotted 7th rank. Now, for the repeated ranks, the correlation coefficient formula is this one. Here m denotes the number of times a rank is repeating itself. For example, here in the upper set of example, the 6th and 7th means 6.5 repeating 2 times. So, for this one we will write down 1 upon 12, 2 into 2 square minus 1, and here the next example 4, 5, 6 means 5 is repeating 3 times. So, we will write down 1 upon 12, 3 into 3 square minus 1. All the data remains same as we discussed earlier. So, let us take the example rank of 10 students, and these are the values. These are the values given here. Number of terms are 10. So, we first determine the rank. Since the ranks are already given, we simply calculate the deviation between the ranks. You can find the deviation between the ranks, and their squares is this one. So, the values if we put in the formula, the resultant is minus 0.3091. The next example is of the repeated rank. Here for the x, you can find the values 74 arising 2 times, okay, and for the y you can easily find 78 2 times, we are getting 78. So, if we write down the ranks for x, the highest value is 90. So, 90 gives the first rank, and the second is 85 arising 2 times. So, we allot them 3 plus 2 by 2, which is 2.5, and the next will be a 4th rank, the 4, 5, 6, 8. Again 74 is of 2 times. Okay. Now, for x we are having 85 as well as 74 as a repeated ranks. So, 2.5 repeating 2 times. So, we write down 1 upon 12, 2 into 2 square minus 1, it is 1 upon 2, and 6 is repeating thrice. So, we write down 1 upon 12, 3 into 3 square minus 1, which is again now 2. For y, 3.5 repeating twice, the correction factor is 1 by 2, the total correction factor is 3, hence the rank correlation is given by 1 minus of this, and we put all the values here, and the rank correlation is obtained by 0.545. This is the problem for